Good idea to have a couple of lawyers on speed dial, especially when John and I are out.
Yeah.
John is with Rio Caraway tackling some top stories this morning.
That's right. We have our experts here in studio. Gentlemen, good morning. Thanks for being with us. You're helping us kind of dissect some of the legal stuff we see in the news. I want to start with Boeing, which has been in the news a lot, obviously. Doors falling off the planes. Yeah. Not good, and that leads to all kinds of... Not normal, leads to legal issues. Where does this stand now? Where do we see this going legally?
So what everyone pretty much knows at this point is there's a plane that's traveling through the air, the door falls off. And so what happened with that is that the government came in and said, well, let's go inspect your facility where they're building these planes. And what appears to have happened is that they found some major issues in the quality control with regards to the building of the planes. And so now what Boeing has done is they stopped production of this particular plane. The reason for that is because now that there's notice of these issues, if they produce planes with defects, then they're going to be on the hook for everything that happens.
And so I would imagine if you're the lawyer for Boeing, this is not an awesome position to be arguing from.
No, this is a position where you're like, stop production until we fix this.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there is going to be a lot of lawsuits that come out of every little thing that happens with these planes.
Another interesting story, well, really sad story, in Florida, a crane falls. They're building something, crane falls, killing one of the workers, other people on the ground injured. This is one of those cases where I feel like you see that, and there will be lawyers on this.
Yes, and so in the Boeing case, you have the difference between actual notice and constructive notice. They knew or they reasonably should have known.
Yeah.
In this case, you just have straightforward what appears to be negligence, and that is that they're trying to extend the crane, and a piece of the crane that they're trying to add to it falls off and causes a bunch of vehicles to be damaged. Unfortunately, the worker that was doing it also passed away as a result of this, and so he'll have a claim under workers' compensation, and then all of the people that were injured as a result of it falling on their vehicle or they're crashing, they'll have claims for negligence as a result of obviously the crane piece falling.
And I guess the legal question is, who's the one that figuring out who was negligent in all of this?
Yes. I mean, you could have a claim against the crane itself if you find that the way that you were supposed to extend the crane was somehow wrong, and that's what caused this. But more likely than not, what you're going to find is that, unfortunately, something that the worker was doing was negligent, and that's what caused this incident.
Kind of similar, larger in scope, but just as tragic was the bridge in Baltimore, hit by a tanker ship, comes collapsing down, killed 6 workers with that. You were talking when we came in there, this could be the biggest legal settlement, legal case we've seen in this country.
Yeah, I mean, it's enormous when you think about what's involved. Several people, unfortunately, passed away, vehicles lost. The bridge itself is down. The port, therefore, is crippled. They say over 31,000 people use this bridge per day, that there's $13–14 million in transport per day out of that port. So it's a massive, massive claim. I mean, the victims have lawyered up. The city has lawyered up, all against this boat that now has a criminal investigation pending against it as well for whether they were aware that the power failure that they suffered, which caused them to lose control, was something they actually may have known about when they left the port.
Yeah, and then obviously a boat with no power can't stop, can't steer.
Well, so that's the big thing here is you're talking about a boat that's so massive. I mean, 900 feet, you know, just a colossal boat. It's like a train. It takes several football fields to change the course. So even if they're able to get power back, it doesn't matter. You've got way too much time it takes to be able to change course. So yeah, any anticipated problem like that is massive.
Yeah. Remains to see what happens, but this is probably going to go on for years. Gentlemen, thank you so much. Appreciate your insights.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank
Coach?
you.
All right, thank you, boys. Straight from her backyard to the farmer's